I'm meteorologist Monica Woods, and we're looking at our regional headlines heading into what is likely going to be a short work and school week for a lot of folks. Sunny skies for the coast. We are stuck in the fog for the valley. For the foothills, sunny and warm, and a dry stretch continuing for the Sierra. Our Tuesday outlook is looking a little bit more favorable and slightly different than what we've been seeing over the past couple of days. I want to show you some pictures of what we call the pea soup here in the valley. That Thule fog just really settled in up and down the valley, and this was really problematic throughout the weekend and early for the week. For Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, we were still dealing with it. It was nice that we didn't have quite the volume on the roadways because visibility was restricted all the way deep into the early afternoon. But again, as we head into the middle of our week, a few changes that we're going to be tracking, and I want to get to that right now. Here's a look at the cloud cover that's going to take us through our Tuesday outlook. So this is going to drift through Tuesday into Wednesday, but you'll note it is still a dry forecast. There's not a whole lot of wind. We're still dealing with parts of the valley that are dealing with poor air quality, but overall, we're going to see some high-level clouds along with some of the fog that we've seen in the low clouds throughout much of the valley. That will continue into the middle of the week. Just a little bit of a different sky pattern here. By the end of our Wednesday, we see some showers popping up just off the coast, and a few of those showers right through the central Sierra, not really making much of a dent in any sort of big shift in our weather pattern. We're really going to have to dig much deeper into the outlook into the end of January to finally start to see a little bit of representation of some moisture coming into Northern California, which will turn us into a slightly likely wetter pattern for the northwest coast by the end of January, beginning of February, but much likely drier throughout much of central and southern California. Getting to our Tuesday numbers, highs are going to be close to 50 for the high country. Not much snow out there in the short-term forecast. Highs in the 50s and 60s throughout the foothills, and that really leads to that inversion where we have that warmer air above the colder air, and that's going to trap in some of the low cloudiness. As far as the central Sierra, highs are going to stay in the 50s to near 60. For the Central Valley, we're in the low to mid 50s. Merced really sucked in there at 52 degrees for an afternoon high. Along the central coast, highs in the 60s and 70s. As we head inland, a much different story here. We're going to see peaks of sunshine for San Lucas, Soledad, but then once we head into the valley, a lot of cloud cover to take us through the day. The Bay Area forecast, we're looking at highs close to 60. Inland areas, we're going to keep it in the 50s. Keep in mind, again, reduced visibility and then some high-level clouds, which is just going to kind of cap that warmth. Highs are in the 50s and 60s along the northwest coast. We're in the 60s for the north end of the valley, and then 40s as we head towards the east side of the state. And for the capital region, highs are going to be in the 50s into right around 60 degrees. El Dorado Hills, slightly better chance of seeing some peaks of sunshine and some breaks in the clouds for our Tuesday. Moving on to our extended forecast, a mix of sun and clouds for much of the work week for the Sierra, and then we return to sunny skies, albeit a little bit cooler by our Saturday outlook for the high country. For the foothills, highs are going to be in the 60s, and then we start to see just a slight shift to cooler weather for the weekend. That's actually good news because we want to try to preserve as much of that snow as we can, because as you can see, it's not much on the horizon for any sort of moisture moving through Northern California and Central California. We're going to keep it pretty dry here for the next 10 days.